Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Wacky Craft Bags. This week we are going to make this little sock snowman here. His little hat's falling down. It's a super simple craft. All you need is the kit from the library, a pair of scissors, and some Sharpies or markers. We can talk about that if you have paint, but that's it. So grab everything and let's get started. So everyone will get these kind of items in their craft kit. You're going to get 2 socks, the white sock, which we're going to use to make the body of our snowman, a colored sock. I don't know what color you'll get. We've got blue, yellow, green. I have a purple one here. A bag of rice for the body and head of the snowman. And then another little packet that has some pom-poms. There are buttons, some glue dots, 2 rubber bands, and then the orange for the nose. Now, you don't have to put on all of the other pieces. So you don't have to put all of these things on your snowman. It's up to you if you want to paint him or decorate him with markers or whatever you'd like to do. I'll show you how to do all of those using all the little supplies in your kit, but you don't have to. The only thing you will definitely need, though, are the 2 rubber bands, because these are what we're going to use to make the body and head of the snowman. So the first step in making your snowman is to fill your sock with rice, okay? You're going to have enough rice to fill it to about mid-heel. So that's the first step. Now, you have your rice in a bag. If you have a funnel, you can always dump your rice into your sock using the funnel. But I don't have one of those handy, so I'm going to show you another way to do that. It's a good idea to sort of open your sock first. These are brand new socks, so don't worry about, somebody's foot's been in it. You're good. But stretch out just a little bit so it's easier to get the rice in. And then I am going to kind of make a funnel. So I'm going to cut this corner off to help get the rice into my sock. So very carefully, I'm going to kind of get the rice and put it into the sock. Maybe do this over a garbage can if you feel like you're going to make a mess like I am. I'm making a little bit of a mess over here. You don't have to put all the rice in. This is just kind of the amount of rice we thought would be good to make the body and head of your snowman. Okay. So there's some of it. I'm going to let it get down. So see, that much rice kind of just filled the sock there. Very carefully. Okay. Let's get the rest of this rice in. Get it to go down. So see, now I've got rice to about here. So this is all rice. And then one more time, we'll kind of slide it down. Ooh, rice is going everywhere. That's okay. Okay, so, rice, that's all right. So I've got the rice in my sock. It's a little bit less, that's okay. If you have more rice and you want to add it, it's just regular long grain rice. But what you're going to do now is you're going to try to get it kind of as pushed down to about here. You're going to take your first rubber band, and this rubber band you're going to make a little bit tight, because this is where his hat's going to go. So that's once, twice, I think 3 times will be good. All right, and kind of put it together so it's pretty tight there. Now I've just got a little lump of rice in a sock. We need to make a head. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of grab him to make a neck like that. You can adjust this however you want it. He can have a little head, he can have a big head, whatever you'd like. And you're going to put your second rubber band on. Now this top one we did 3 times. To make his head, I would only do twice, because then you can also adjust. So I think his head's a little small, so I'm going to try to get some more rice in there. And then, there we go. So here's the little body of my snowman. Now, I don't want to cut this off just yet. We're going to let it sit for a minute while we kind of decorate the rest of him. We'll do his hat last, I think. But now we're going to decorate our snowman. So I have these other things in the bag. I'm going to do his buttons first down the front of him. Everybody's going to get 4 buttons. I don't know what colors they're going to be. You don't have to use all 4. You can use 3. You can use 2. You don't have to use them at all. But I'm going to use all 4 buttons. Let me get this rice out of the way. Now, everybody's also got glue dots in their kit. They're right here. They're kind of small. If you have hot glue, you could use hot glue instead. If you have, we use tacky glue at a program. That worked pretty well. So it's up to you. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take this glue dot. It's hard to see him, but he's right there. And I'm going to just stick my button on top of him and kind of press it down. And then I'm going to very carefully peel the button and the glue dot off the back. Let's see. Come on, glue dot. There we go. So now I have a button with a glue dot on it. And I'm going to find kind of where I've decided this is his front. And I'm going to put a button on him. There we go. Let's do another one. So I put the button on the glue dot. I stuck it down. I'm going to peel it off. Okay. And I'm going to stick this button on. And then one more little button right down there. Now let's give his buttons a little bit of a push. There are his buttons. Now, to do his face, all you need to do for the carrot is just stick it in. The sock will kind of give a little bit, and you can kind of just push it into the rice. So if you want him to have a longer nose or a shorter nose, that's up to you. Now, for his face, I'm just going to use a Sharpie. If you have black paint or other kinds of paint, you can do that. But I'm just going to do a Sharpie. So I'm going to do 2 eyes. So 1 eye, 2 eyes. And I'm going to give him a smile. There you go. And then because he's going to be outside, I have a pink Sharpie. I'm just going to give him a little bit of blush because it's cold outside. Again, you can use whatever you have at home to do his little face. But that is how simple it is to make the body of this snowman. So I'm going to put him aside for a second because we're going to make his hat. So his hat is made out of the colored scarf you have with you. We're also going to make his, or the colored sock. We're going to make his scarf out of this too. But his hat is basically the toe of the sock. Now, your socks, sometimes they'll say the little L or something. I'm going to cut just above that for his hat. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'll use the rest of the sock in a minute. If you want, you can roll his hat and make a permanent brim using your glue dots, kind of putting glue dots around. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to make kind of a slouchy hat. Now I am going to cut off this part of his sock, just because we want to fit it in the hat, and that's not going to fit otherwise. So I'm going to cut about here. You just want enough so that your rice isn't going to sneak out but also so you can fit the top of him into his hat. So I'm going to take his hat and just put it on. Come on, you. If you want, you can put glue dots down to keep his hat on him. It's up to you. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to do his scarf in a minute. I've got pom-poms are in your kit. You can always put glue dots on the top of his pom-poms. You can put glue dots here. I'm going to kind of do that. I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm going to take a glue dot. I'm going to peel it off. And I'm going to put it in between the two folds. And I'm going to, didn't want to come off me. Here you. And I'm going to press the sock together there to kind of make a little fold. I'm going to do the same thing over here so that I can put the pom-pom up there. So, another glue dot. Kind of here, these two folds. I'm going to stick it together. Stick. Very good. And now I'm going to try to do the pom-pom. So I've got a glue dot. I'm going to put it on my pom-pom. And I'm going to stick that on top of his hat. So there is my snowman's hat. Now, there are two ways to make a scarf using the rest of your sock. You can sort of make a cowl using the cuff up here by just cutting kind of along underneath. Here you might want to be as even as possible. So you can make this kind of thing. Let me show you. Come here, I need your head for a minute. Watch his nose, his buttons. So you can make a scarf like that, or you can make a scarf that wraps around him. So you sit here for a minute. And I would do that using the part we cut off for his hat. Again, you're just going to cut a strip. And then you're just going to cut that so it is a long piece. And what I like to do is wrap it around like this. So I'm going to put a glue dot down there. I'm going to put a glue dot right there. Oh, come on. For this part of his scarf to kind of hold it. And then I'm going to wrap this part down, and I'll put another glue dot right there to keep it from flying off. There. And then I'm going to put a glue dot right there. Let's see, is that warm enough? I think so. And then I'm going to take this other pom-pom I have, and I'm going to stick it at the end of his scarf. So I've got my glue dot. Put it on my pom-pom. Put it down. Let's get his hat. Put his hat on him. And there is my little sock snowman. So that is how simple it is to make these tiny little adorable snowmen. You can use any kind of craft supplies you have at home, paint, you have a different kind of glue to keep it on better if you have other pom-poms. You can make bigger ones if you have more rice and you have old socks you don't mind cutting up and using for crafts. But that is how easy it is to make these cute little adorable winter snowmen. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye!